Let's soar, Eagles Nation. You can feel it in the air, can't you? That electric buzz building with every passing day. The countdown has begun, and while there are still weeks to go, it already feels like football is back. The midnight green is calling, and every true fan can hear it loud and clear. This isn't just another season, we're standing on the edge of something massive. The locker room energy is real. The team is locked in. The mission is clear. Dominate, rise, conquer, and as always, fly, Eagles fly. But before we get into the breaking updates straight from the heart of the NovaCare complex, I need you to do one thing. Hit that like button, but only if you've been riding with the birds for over 19 years. Much love and maximum respect to the fans who were there in the 70s, who lived through the highs and lows, who bled green before it was cool. You are the soul of this franchise. And if you're feeling that same passion, drop a comment like this. Go Birds! My heart bleeds green and white. Let's fly higher than ever. Now buckle up, because what I'm about to share will shake the nest. Here's the first major headline you need to know. With training camp kicking off on July 22nd and the preseason opener against the Bengals just around the corner on August 7th, the countdown to football is officially on. And the only open practice at Lincoln Financial Field will be held on August 10th. Mark your calendars. But the real fireworks begin when the Eagles raise their Super Bowl 59 banner at the Link, opening the 2025 season in front of none other than the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, it's going to be electric. Now let's talk about what's happening with this team. There's been a lot of chatter about whether this 2024-25 Eagles team is more talented than the legendary 2017 squad. And after digging through every detail, there's a strong case to be made that this current group might just be the most stacked roster in franchise history. 10 of 11 offensive starters are considered elite, and the only real question mark is at right guard, where Tyler Steen steps in to replace the dominant Mike Becton. And let's be clear, Becton wasn't just good, he was opening massive lanes for Saquon Barkley all year long and wanted to return on a discount. That's tough to lose. But even with that potential drop-off, this offensive line is still elite. Jordan Mailata is playing like one of the top left tackles in the game. Landon Dickerson is a monster at guard. Cam Jurgens is quietly becoming one of the league's best centers. And Lane Johnson? He's still the best right tackle in the NFL and is well on his way to the Hall of Fame. Add in new depth with rookies like Miles Hinton and Cameron Williams, who could have been a 2026 first-rounder if he stayed in school, and you're looking at a line that's built to dominate again. Even the undrafted guys like Holland Pierce and veterans like Kendall Lamb bring real value. The offense, though, isn't just about protection, it's about production. And that brings us to Saquon Barkley. The man looks unreal heading into camp. He's shredded, focused, and taking advice from legends like Jaron James and Marshall Faulk to stay fresh. Last year, he led the league in touches. This year, the team is being ultra-strategic with how they manage his workload to avoid burnout. Now, no running back in NFL history has rushed for over 2,000 yards in back-to-back seasons. But behind this line, with the weapons Philly has, and Jalen Hurts beside him, you tell me, because history might just get rewritten. Speaking of Jalen Hurts, let's not ignore the fact that this man continues to prove why he's not just the best quarterback in Eagles history, but one of the top leaders in the entire NFL. Better than Nick Foles? Absolutely. Nick had one of the most unique careers ever, and his playoff magic in 2017 was unforgettable. But Jalen Hurts is building a legacy that could define an entire era of Eagles football. And it's not just individual talent. This team has heart. There's a fire in them this year that just wasn't there after the loss in Super Bowl 57. It felt like they expected the road back to be easier than it actually was. But now, they've got the taste of victory, and they're not satisfied. Sirianni, Hurts, A.J. Brown, Lane Johnson, Saquon, they're talking like guys who won more than one ring. They want a dynasty. Now, while the offense seems locked in, the defense is going through a youth movement, and fans are asking, did they go too far? Brendan Graham, Josh Sweat, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Milton Williams, they're all gone. And while that might seem like a loss, there's a plan here. Nolan Smith and Jakes Hunt are expected to step up. Sidney Brown and Andrew Mukuba will help fill the C.J. void. And the front office is betting big on guys like Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Khalil Ringo. It's bold. It's risky. But it's also budget smart. The Eagles currently have the cheapest defense in the entire league, just over $60 million in total spending. That's allowing them to invest heavily in offense while keeping flexibility for future signings, especially to extend someone like Jalen Carter down the line. But what about the coaching staff? Kevin Patullo now steps in as the play caller after Kellen Moore left big shoes to fill. Moore was outstanding in 2024. He adapted to the personnel, leaned on the run game, used pre-snap motion masterfully, and made key in-game adjustments. That's what made the Eagles offense the top rushing unit in football. So now all eyes are on Patullo. Can he be creative? Can he bring fresh ideas while staying true to the formula that got them here? He says he's ready. Sirianni just needs to give him the freedom to cook. And lastly, there's still cap space. Over $30 million, to be exact. That means Howie Roseman could make a move during training camp or preseason if needed. Maybe a corner like Asante Samuel Jr., or a safety like Julian Blackmon or Justin Simmons. But the front office wants to wait, evaluate, and make moves from a position of knowledge, not panic. So that's where we stand. Loaded offense, young, cheap, and hungry defense. Fresh blood in the coaching staff, and a front office that's watching every detail. All the ingredients are there for another Super Bowl run. But let me ask you this. Do you think this team, as it stands right now, is better than the 2017 Eagles? And picking up right where we left off, this comparison between the 2017 and the 2024 Eagles goes deeper than just talent on paper. Because when we talk about greatness, we're not just talking stats and rosters, we're talking moments, legacies, and the emotional weight of what a season means to a city like Philadelphia. Let's revisit that 2017 Super Bowl run. Carson Wentz goes down. Everyone doubts. And then Nick Foles delivers one of the most magical playoff stretches in NFL history. Philly special. Brandon Graham's strip sack. Zach Ertz's critical fourth down conversion. Malcolm Jenkins' massive hit. LeGarrette Blount running wild. That was a team fueled by heart and defiance. It was the first Super Bowl win ever for the franchise. Iconic. But now fast forward to 2024, and it's not just about magic moments. It's about domination. This 2024 Eagles team didn't sneak up on anybody. They started 2-2 and then absolutely steamrolled through the rest of the season. They didn't just beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59. They dismantled a team chasing history. The Chiefs were going for the first three-peat ever. They had the reigning MVP. They had Andy Reid, who knows the Eagles inside and out. And Philly shut them down with authority. No drama. No nail-biting finish. Just a statement win. And that's what makes this team so terrifying. They don't just want to win, they want to own every opponent they face. That's why so many insiders are saying this could be the beginning of a dynasty. But to build that kind of sustained success, you need more than talent. You need the right contracts, the right leadership, and the right mindset. And that's where Howie Roseman's strategy becomes so important. He's built an offense that's loaded now, but also sustainable for the next few years. Jalen Hurts, DeVonta Smith, Jordan Mailata, they're locked in. And the youth movement on defense isn't just about this year. It's about creating a foundation that keeps the team elite while managing the cap long term. Still, there are questions. And one of the biggest ones going into training camp is at safety. Reed Blankenship is solid, no doubt. But who's going to line up next to him? Will it be Sidney Brown, Andre Sam, Tristan McCullum, maybe Andrew Mukuba? And if none of them step up, do the Eagles go out and get a proven veteran like Justin Simmons or Julian Blackmon? They've got the cap space. They've got the leverage. But they're holding off, for now. And speaking of cap space, don't forget they still have to officially sign Andrew Mukuba. And while his rookie contract won't break the bank, it's still a piece of the puzzle. It's part of a bigger financial strategy, rollover and